Welcome back to Liberty Nation TV. I'm your host, Scott DiCasenza, and my guest today is Liberty Nation's managing editor, Mark Angelides, and UK resident, especially important for this story. Welcome, Mark.
Hi, Scott. Thanks for having me.
Well, it feels like I might have to eat my words just because if history's our guide, but Brexit is upon us. Brexit is today, I guess officially, this evening. Later on, and we're here for a report about it from you. So, firstly, what's happening this evening with Brexit?
Okay, so at 11 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, UK time, Britain will formally end its membership of the European Union. That happens basically tonight. So from now on, Britain won't be a member. It doesn't have representation within the European Parliament. Britain is still tied into the European Union for a transition period, which is a further 12 months. I believe it's December 2020 when this period ends, at which point, if Boris Johnson has negotiated some kind of free trade deal, we'll continue under those terms. If not, the country reverts to the World Trade Organization terms for trading.
What if I am a Polish person who has traveled to the UK and live and work there on my, my Polish passport commensurate with EU regulations prior to Brexit? What happens to me?
Well, sure, that's actually pretty straightforward. That was one of the first things that pretty much everybody on the Brexit campaign side tried to get sorted first of all. So what happens is that anybody who's an EU citizen who resides in Britain prior to Brexit will continue to receive all the rights, benefits and pleasures that they do, assuming they fill out a form. Now, there's been a lot of hoorah about all the additional burden of filling out a form from people who backed the Remain campaign, saying that it's undue, it's troublesome, and causes a lot of problems. However, it really is just simply a form, and once they've filled that out, they have the right to remain.
And what about the many citizens of the UK who have, for instance, perhaps retired abroad or are on extended stays abroad? What happens to them? Is it country by country, how they're going to be dealt with?
Well, here's the thing. The EU does control, to some extent, immigration and policies on immigration across the continent. Whether some people choose to believe that or not, they do. And they made a unilateral offer of reciprocation in terms of Brits abroad versus EU citizens within the UK.
Okay, what are the Remainers going to be doing as Brexit occurs?
Well, there's a lot of complaints already. Quite obviously, seem to have missed the idea of losers' consent on this one. And with the new coins come out today, which I'm sure we can get a photo on the screen up here, but the new 50 pence pieces, or 50 cents as you may call them, which commemorate Britain leaving the EU. So there's a lot of people, especially those in the media and the celebrity realms, who are saying they shan't accept this as legal currency themselves and will refuse to accept those 50 pence pieces because they mark a terrible time for Britain. And of course, we've had the usual celebrities saying Britain is finished, and that like Hugh Grant, for example, who I think is a great actor, but clearly not a fan of the UK anymore. He suspects the whole nation is finished. And you have the politicians saying this is the worst decision that Britain has ever made. But we'll see. They were wrong about the mood of the country. They were wrong about how many people would back Jeremy Corbyn in the recent general election, which of course Boris Johnson won by a huge majority. And many suspect that they'll be wrong about the dissolution of the United Kingdom in the dark days ahead.
Mark, there's a farthing joke in there to be had, but I won't be making it. Anything else that we should be looking out for in the near future with respect to Brexit terms?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, here's the important thing about it. this is not the end of Brexit. This is merely the beginning. This is the prelude to what many political parties in the UK have been looking for, specifically the Brexit Party and the United Kingdom Independence Party, and now almost adopted by the Conservative Party as well, the leading Conservative Party. But this is really an opportunity for Britain to reform itself. And it's very exciting times, not just as a Briton, but as a journalist, to see what's coming down the pipeline. How will Britain react, the British government react to having powers to actually set their own rules and regulations, not being constrained within the same bloc, which has been in existence since before my birth, I might add. So it's a very exciting time for me to see what direction Britain's going to take. Is it going to, as Winston Churchill, choose Europe or the open sea? And I think it's some very exciting times ahead.
For LibertyNation.com from the United Kingdom, it's managing editor Mark Angelides. Thank you for joining us, Mark.
My pleasure.
This is Scott Cosenza for Liberty Nation TV. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Hi, folks. Lisa K. Donner here, editor-in-chief of LibertyNation.com. We hope you enjoyed watching this video, maybe even learned a thing or two. If so, please take a moment and subscribe to our YouTube channel right down there in the corner. Thanks so much.